You'll never believe how ASAP Rocky turned the tables on everyone who thought he was headed for 24 years in prison. After months of drama, wild allegations, and a showdown in court that left his fans holding their breath, the verdict is finally in, and it has the entire industry talking. We're kicking things off with the moment that started this mess. The day ASAP Rocky's former friend, Relli, accused him of pulling a gun during a heated argument back in 2021. According to Relli, Rocky fired 2 shots that grazed his hand. But from the start, the story just didn't add up. No physical evidence, no gun recovered, nothing. And that's where the red flags began popping up. Police combed through the area where Relli said this went down. They searched high and low, looking for shell casings or bullet holes or any sign that a weapon was fired. Girl, they found zilch. You'd think if someone got shot at, if there were multiple shots fired, there would be some clear, undeniable proof left behind. But as far as the cops could tell, there was no trace of a shooting at all. Of course, that didn't stop the rumors from exploding online. People started saying Rocky was definitely going to prison. Others claimed the story was a setup from day one. It was a total hot mess. All we knew for sure was that Relli swore something major went down, while Rocky insisted it was all a lie. But that wasn't the whole story, because just when you think you got the facts, there's always a new twist lurking around the corner. Out of nowhere, 2 days after that alleged shooting, Relli pops up like, "Hey, y'all, I found these shell casings." Now, how a person who said they were so traumatized could head back and scoop up those shells on their own is beyond me. But that's exactly what Relli did, or at least claimed to do. Naturally, people started side-eyeing him. Did those shell casings even come from this so-called crime scene? Or did Relli get them somewhere else just to back up his story? Forensic experts took a good, hard look. They tried to determine if they matched the time, location, or any weapon associated with ASAP Rocky. And guess what? They couldn't conclusively tie those casings to the night of the argument. That, my friends, is when folks really started wondering if Relli was playing games. The lack of definitive evidence left the prosecution struggling to piece together a coherent narrative. Their entire case hinged on Relli's word. With no bullet holes, no confirmed shell casings, and not even a single photograph of the damage you'd expect from real gunfire, everything felt shaky. Yet they pressed forward with the charges, acting as though Relli's story was rock solid. But things were about to get even messier, because Rihanna, yes, the Rihanna, stepped into the picture, and that's when the media frenzy kicked into overdrive. When ASAP Rocky walked into court with Rihanna by his side, it was like watching a scene from a blockbuster movie. Flashing cameras, swirling whispers, and a judge who had to remind everyone, this is a courtroom, not a red carpet. But how could folks not pay attention when one of the biggest superstars in the world was front and center, making it crystal clear she was there to support her man? This was more than just a celebrity cameo. Rihanna's presence in that courtroom spoke volumes. She wasn't sitting there for show. She was backing Rocky through a trial that, if it went south, could have left him behind bars for nearly a quarter of a century. That's enough to make anyone's heart skip a beat. And let's be real, Rihanna is a global phenomenon. Some jury members had to be fans, right? It's possible her influence alone could sway how folks viewed the case, even if nobody'd ever admit it. It certainly didn't hurt that she showed up looking poised, unbothered, and ready to stand up for the man she loves. As the trial heated up, paparazzi caught her slipping out of side doors, trying to avoid the chaos. She wasn't there to wave to fans or make a scene. She was there on a mission. One bystander said you could feel the tension, like Rihanna was bracing herself for the worst. Because let's be honest, facing a 24-year sentence is no joke. But that tension was only the tip of the iceberg. Because while the courtroom drama was unfolding, there was another conversation bubbling in the background. And it involved Azealia Banks, rumors of betrayal, and allegations that made the entire situation look even more complicated. Honey, if there's one person known for stirring the pot online, it's Azealia Banks. The second she got wind of drama involving ASAP Rocky, she jumped right in, spilling tea that nobody was ready for. According to her, Rocky and Relli had been butting heads for a while, and the tension skyrocketed when Rihanna entered the picture. Some folks claim Relli got too friendly with Rihanna. Others say Rocky was just overprotective. Either way, that's how the alleged fight began. And you know Azealia didn't stop there. She dragged ASAP Yams, rest in peace, into the conversation, claiming the relationship between Rocky and Yams wasn't what everyone believed. She even alleged that after Yams passed away, Rocky paid Yams' mother $60,000 to keep quiet about something sinister, though she never provided solid details. The internet exploded. Some people believed every word, others rolled their eyes and said, "Girl, here she goes again." Fans took sides. One group insisted Azealia was telling the gospel truth, pointing out how she's been in the industry long enough to know everyone's skeletons. Another set of folks dismissed her, calling her a troublemaker who loves the spotlight more than the truth. Regardless of who you believed, her claims added a layer of suspicion to an already wild story. But all that drama was background noise once the trial kicked into high gear and forensic experts took the stand. That was the true turning point, because if there's no physical evidence, how do you lock a man up for 24 years? From the very beginning, Rocky's legal team knew they had to dismantle Relli's version of events. And let me tell you, they did it with flair. They brought in forensic specialists who analyzed everything from ballistics reports to the location itself. The experts confirmed they found no gun, no bullets, and no fresh bullet holes that would indicate shots were fired. If Relli truly got grazed by gunfire, you'd expect some sort of ballistic evidence to support that claim. Yet there was none. Then came the shell casings Relli magically found 2 days after the fact. The experts couldn't prove they came from that night. They couldn't even match them to a weapon Rocky allegedly used. Those casings might have been from months or years prior, for all they knew. The defense hammered home the idea that Relli's case was built on dramatic storytelling rather than hard facts. And the contradictions didn't stop there. Relli's testimony changed each time he told it. At first, he insisted Rocky fired actual bullets. Later, he hinted it might have been blanks. The exact timeline of events shifted, too. Meanwhile, the prosecution was left scrambling to keep their argument consistent. All these inconsistencies painted a picture of a man who was either deeply confused or deliberately twisting the story. That's when the tide started turning in Rocky's favor. The jury could see that the supposed evidence just wasn't adding up. But there was one final nail in the prosecution's coffin. The moment everyone realized they simply couldn't prove a single thing that Relli was claiming. By the time closing arguments rolled around, Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, wasn't shy about letting the jury know exactly how flimsy he thought the state's case was. He practically stood up and said, "No gun, no bullets, no real proof, just a bunch of accusations." Then he took them step by step through all the holes in Relli's story, highlighting how the narrative changed every time he opened his mouth. The prosecution, on the other hand, tried to frame Rocky as an impulsive star who thought he could get away with anything. They talked about him being reckless, about how some of his lyrics promoted a tough guy image, but they couldn't produce any new evidence. They had no ballistic match, no reliable witness besides Relli, and no consistent story that made sense from start to finish. When the jury left to deliberate, everyone expected this to drag on for days, especially with the possibility of a 24-year sentence at stake. But in a twist that surprised even the judge, they came back much sooner than expected. The entire room fell silent, hearts pounding. Was this going to be the end for ASAP Rocky? Girl, the tension was thicker than southern humidity in August. Rocky gripped the defense table, and Rihanna clutched her seat so tightly her knuckles turned white. Finally, the judge read the verdict, not guilty on all charges. Case closed. At that moment, it was like somebody popped a balloon filled with raw emotions. Rocky exhaled. Rihanna smiled from ear to ear. Meanwhile, the prosecutors looked like they'd just watched their entire case evaporate into thin air. The second the news broke, social media lit up like a Christmas tree. Fans were celebrating Rocky's freedom and dragging the prosecution for ever bringing the case to court. Folks couldn't believe the state had the nerve to threaten him with 24 years behind bars when it was obvious they didn't have the evidence to back it up. Some even suspected there were hidden agendas, clout chasing, jealousy, or maybe some behind-the-scenes beef fueling Relli's accusations. Rihanna's supporters also flooded the internet with comments about how she must have felt, carrying not one, but 2 kids with ASAP Rocky, all while this legal nightmare hovered over their family. People applauded her for standing by him, for showing up in court, and for facing down cameras every single day. After all, she had a lot to lose if things had gone the other way. Meanwhile, the gossip mill kept on churning. Was Relli's story completely fabricated? Or did he truly believe Rocky had fired a gun? Did he harbor some jealousy because he felt replaced once Rihanna came into the picture? Azealia Banks was probably off somewhere typing a mile a minute, ready to release a fresh round of accusations. That woman never sleeps when there's drama to be had. But here's the bottom line, ASAP Rocky is free. No jail time, no probation, no record. He bet on himself by rejecting that plea deal early on, and it paid off better than he could have ever dreamed. Instead of rotting in a cell for half his life, he's walking out of the courthouse with Rihanna by his side, his family intact, and his career ready to move forward without the weight of criminal charges. So, what do we make of all this? Was Rihanna really the spark that lit the fuse between Rocky and Relli? Or was this just an industry feud blown up by social media and rumors? Whatever the true story, one thing's for sure. The prosecution didn't have enough evidence to seal Rocky's fate. The jury saw right through the holes in Relli's accusations, and ASAP Rocky walked away a free man, showing everyone that sometimes rolling the dice pays off big. Thanks for supporting the Gossip Wire. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more of the hottest celebrity news online.